Okay, hey everybody. Tonight I have Anthony Zender with me, and we're going to be discussing all about his teachings with the Emerald Tablets of Thought, right? And then all the Egyptian past lives and other lifetimes, and the Illuminati and the higher perspective of the Illuminati. Is that right? Like in
That's right.
other ways,
Yep.
and
We'll
anything that
clear
you want
that
to
up.
talk
We'll
about.
definitely clear that up because that's important. Like
Yeah,
to clear it up on the path to truth, which I found out about when I found the real enlightened ones, the real Illuminati, which are
yeah.
the Pythagorean Illuminati,
Okay.
and they even said when I found them in their work, which is over 233 books, and they have a website that they came out on, but the whole story about that was when I woke up in 2012. I started having all this stuff come back to me, memories, a lot of secret society stuff, and then that's what my whole book was really about. My first book was all that stuff happening to me, and remembering the secret society and the past lives,
Yeah.
and having all these things happen to me that which are all associated with the soul,
Yeah.
and stuff, and just unlocking throughout my life to really show who I was.
What book
And
was it? Because I've seen a lot of books on Amazon. You know, which one of yours?
that one was Son of the Morning
Okay.
because I definitely had an experience where I had my awakening, and then I had all sorts of supernatural extrasensory perception experiences happen around me, dreams, lights flickering on and off, seeing UFOs happening around me, and then that's when I started questioning everything going on,
Mhm.
and that's when I had the beginning for me. And I have military involvement too, so I was I went into the military, and explained to them what was going on with my memories coming back, and because I was having memories of being off world, and stuff coming back of like being like transported to the moon, and being on in like classrooms of children on the moon, and
Yeah.
that was all coming back to me. And then I went in the military, explained to them what was going on, and then they came in and intervened because they knew that I was remembering stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so I was just talking to a psychologist, and then he told me to get into touch with him anytime I needed to, because I was remembering all this stuff, and hearing whispers and voices around me,
Yeah.
and all sorts of stuff. And I did call him one time at like 5 o'clock in the morning when I was hearing like whispers and stuff
Yeah.
around.
Scary. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
then so he said to me, he actually said, "You have a gift," is what he
Mhm.
said to me.
Mhm.
And then I went in to go see him like the week after, because he told me not to go see him. And then what happened was there was a man there, definitely from the government,
Oh no.
who was yeah, there to meet up with me in the waiting room. And he was obviously from the government. He was like talking to this guy, but he was there for me because I he just came over to me, and he introduced himself. And he's like, "Oh, I'm Commander such and such. I've been in all these subs and aircraft carriers," and was definitely showing his authority and like what level he was at. And he took me to the side. Then he started talking about highly sensitive things, and this was when I was like 25 years old, when I was first waking up. I didn't know quite like what I was involved in, but I knew, I was learning about my labs, military abductions, and deep underground military bases, and I was having all those memories come back too, because I remember being taken when I was 6 years old.
Mhm.
I remember the memory, the screen memory of the hand coming and taking me out of my
Mhm.
window.
Yeah.
And then I remember being in the deep underground military bases where they had the guy standing over me with the white lab coats. And I remember being in rooms of children where we were sitting at circular tables, and we were working on telekinesis. We were like pushing bowls with our hands, like it was like a bowl turned upside down, and we were pushing it with our hands. And the room looked just like the Stranger Things room
Yep.
with the rainbow on the wall. That's why when I watching that movie, that's pretty crazy
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's all coming back. And but just to finish the story about because everything's connected.
Yeah.
That's to
Hmm.
why I'm able to like put all these connections together, because I've been able to see past what's been going on, like in my life. And this this guy from the government came in and started talking about sensitive things, like how easy it would be to get a nuclear bomb in the United States.
Oh,
He was just like, he's like, hey, how easy it would be to get a nuclear bomb in the United States. He's like, all you'd have to do is just row it to shore. That's all you have to do. And and it was up to me. I would assassinate the president of Iran.
what the
And
hell? What does
and
he
I was
say?
like,
Yeah.
right, right. I was like,
Yeah.
I was definitely taken off by that. And he's like, yeah, but that's all just the tip of the iceberg. And like I was just like 25, just waking up, didn't really know what was going on. But after that, the guy gave me his card, and wanted to talk about my book that I was writing. And then I never followed up on that, but that same guy showed up at my church, and he
Mm.
was talking to somebody that I knew from high school, like this wrestler from high school. It was like a setup, like he knew I was coming in, where I would be, where I was going. So this is definitely part of the TI
Yeah.
phenomenon,
Yeah.
where the government is watching you and you are
Hmm.
monitored, you are surveillanced. And that TI phenomenon is associated with the secret space program, whether
Hmm.
whether a targeted individual knows it or not. The secret space program is behind the TI program, which is called TIRAP. It's actually called the Targeted Individual Research Advanced Project.
Oh.
And I found that out from the ACIO files. That
Oh,
was a
okay.
very important piece of information that I found out when Peter started talking about that, because being in the secret space program, you are a targeted individual, and that he had information about that and who was behind it. Like DARPA is mainly the ones behind it, because
Yeah.
they do neurological monitoring
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
surveillance. And I've had run-ins with them all throughout my life. Just weird instances that would happen where I'm obviously getting followed, um, and it's just a all the time thing. So
It
I
is all
know
the
you
time
probably,
now. It's all the
it's
time for
always
you.
it's always been like since 2012.
Hmm.
Since 2012, when I woke up, it's been all the time. Especially when I one night, like after I was waking up, because the I had a Kundalini awakening,
Oh,
and
okay.
and my just spontaneously, like I felt everything shoot up my head, and that out my head.
Yeah.
And then after that, that's when everything started changing and
Hmm.
and happening around
Me
me. And then
too.
I started meditating more, like more often. I started becoming that way, and getting obviously connected with the soul more. And there I had an experience where it was all mystical. It's like a mystical day. And I went out on the end of this dock, and I just sat there and meditated for about 45 minutes. And what happened was I was just sitting there meditating on this dock, and then in my eye, my third eye, I saw the all-seeing eye pop out. Like it just like popped out, and I had the vision of the all-seeing eye, and then it started blinking. And then I just like popped out of my body and had an out of body experience. And I was floating over the desert, and I just realized I was in a desert, because there's like trees and stuff. And then I saw like rundown buildings. And then I was definitely astral traveling. I was an out of body experience. And then I just saw the pyramids
Oh,
in
wow.
front. And the Great Pyramid was in front of me.
Wow.
And that's a connection too, because like we were talking about just before
Hmm.
you we got on, you saw the scarab ship.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah,
And I was
I was
just
connecting
talking.
with you. I seen that, and I was connected. We was like facing each other, like our palms connected, and then we was like spinning the room really fast, and then we would get further away and to make it go faster or slow down. However, we are just messing with that. And then I seen you showed me like your scarab ship with like the wings, and then you was like connecting to the pyramids, and then I just seen all kinds of Egyptian energy with you, all the gold and all the ancient beings and
You're good.
everything too.
Christy, you are really good. You are
It's
really good, though, like straight up, because that's what like my this life has been all about. Because I was just talking about like to my friends like how I'm just like I can't wait for my ship,
I
and then
know.
boom,
Yeah.
we did this, and then now
Yeah.
you're telling me it's a scarab ship. I was like, that is if I can have it look like anything, that would
Yeah.
be it,
Mhm. Mhm.
because I do remember my past life in Egypt, because
Yeah.
when I was 6 years old, I had memories of being in the pyramids, and
Yeah.
then I had like a memory of like being in a room where there was like the drapes, and I was out over this balcony overlooking the city, and then I just found out that this was from being an initiate in the mystery schools, because I remember being initiated in the temples, because I actually also remember a memory where I was in a cold, dark room, and it was just like cold as death. But then I was
Oh,
in there, and then I just started levitating, and I lit up. My body lit up, and I was remembering a memory of being in the initiated in the pyramids,
oh,
because the pharaohs
yeah.
go through that.
Oh, okay. You had to be
Yeah,
like in an esophagus or something, or a tomb or something
yeah,
like that.
because they for 3 days,
Oh,
for
okay.
3 days, then they have to go through all the tests and trials of the initiation, like which all the pyramid has in it, and that's why like the pharaohs have
The
the
serpent,
snake coming out of the head, is
third
it's an
eye.
indication of the ones that have risen the kundalini
Yeah.
um,
Oh.
out.
Mhm.
So all that was coming back to me, and that's when I started getting interested in the secret societies,
Yeah.
and went through the whole studying of all the secret societies, Freemasons, Rosicrucians, Templars,
Mhm.
Illuminati. Like I went through the whole conspiracy realm, because you start studying the
Yep.
conspiracy, and I just went through that realm, and actually where it got me to was in the end I found the real Illuminati, because during my search I was always like, God, I just want to be one of the Illuminati, and I knew all the information that I was gathering about them, which is all negatively oriented. It's all about how they are the elite. They're the dark ones. They're the Satan, which is all true. Like they exist. Like that's true, but they are not the Illuminati,
Mhm.
and they took that, and now they use that as being able to mislead people from who the real enlightened ones and real Illuminati are, which are the Pythagorean Illuminati, and
Okay.
they've been around since 561 BCE, since the
Yeah.
time of King Solomon, because
Oh,
King
okay.
Solomon was the first Grand Master of the Pythagorean Illuminati,
Oh, okay.
and then it went to Pythagoras. Pythagoras was the second Grand Master,
Oh,
and
okay.
so this history is obviously the real history of the order, of the real order of light, who has always stood in opposition to the elite, like
Mhm.
that we are actually in opposition to, and that's the whole Armageddon conspiracy,
Yeah.
like that I found out,
Yeah.
and so
Because
that's what all everything led me to.
like how Aleister Crowley has the same follows the Solomon too, but I think he twisted it. Did he twist it to make it negative then? Is because he
That is, yeah, that is what happened too. Because even there's a man named Adam Weishaupt, who was a
yep.
Grandmaster of the Illuminati too.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thinks he's bad, but he's actually good,
Oh,
because he's
okay.
actually actually connected to Pythagoras, King Solomon, Heraclitus, Parmenides, all these great philosophers that have been actually the ones that are Illuminati,
Mm-hmm.
because that's who the Illuminati are. They're the mathematicians, they're the philosophers, they're the artists.
Yeah.
They've actually existed as an order since 561
Mm-hmm.
BCE, and I found them in 2016.
Okay.
And when I found them, I knew, because I remembered about my quest for the Holy Grail as being a Templar, because that was stuff that was coming back in my past lives too. Because I remember being a Templar Knight
Mm-hmm. Yep.
as well, because I
Crusades.
remember,
I
yeah,
see
I
it. The
remember that period.
Crusades.
I
Mm-hmm.
remember that period too, because I have a memory of, I was in that like a town, and someone was coming up to me and calling me Lord, and then I was having a memory of a siege one time taking place. I was in a castle while I was getting sieged,
Yeah.
and then there were flying rocks, like flaming rocks
Oh
coming
yeah.
in, and I was just like, oh man, this castle is getting sieged, like, and I'm in the middle of it, like, and I felt like, definitely the like death coming on. But I
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
about the whole siege of Mount Segur, which is actually where the Cathars went to escape the burnings of the Catholic Church,
Okay.
because they were Gnostics,
Mm-hmm.
and I've always been like a Gnostic throughout time,
Yeah.
obviously,
Because what does
and
that mean again? The Gnostic. What does that mean? I forget.
it just means knowledge and gnosis, like
Okay.
that is what everything, like, knowledge is the ultimate, like, thing
Knowledge.
that
Yeah.
there is. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
knowledge. Oh yeah, over faith,
Yeah.
like knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and that's part of why how the you know the religions have controlled, through faith, and because the Abrahamic religions are the three main religions of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, that
Okay.
are that are in control of everything, and part of the three body problem, which is religious control, economic control, and political control.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And yeah, and yeah, so that's what I found out all about this too, about the free market Zionist capitalist system,
Mm-hmm.
which is part of the control here.
Yeah. Yep.
It's yeah, it's the Zion, it's a capitalist system, like, but the system is made so only the 1% actually get everything, and then the 99% are the ones that pay for it, and are and then the gap widens, as the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. That's actually what capitalism does.
Mm-hmm.
Free market capitalism. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's definitely not something that is good, because
No.
you have, like, trillionaires and billionaires, while the rest of everybody else is suffering, and it's because of the free market Zionist
Yep.
capitalist system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was watching a video or something with the Zion, the the learned elders of Zion, something with that, like that. Is like a recording though, not the book, the recording of it. So, and I could understand that very easily how that is and resonated with it. So I like that information, with the truth of it. So
The
and
truth.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and both. Yeah, the truth is both dark and light, and that's what I understand about gathering it. As an intelligent gatherer, you have to not be parochial, which means just one track minded.
Right.
Oh, I'm just going to study this. Like, you got
Yep.
to study everything
Everything.
to get
Yep.
the whole picture, and
Yep.
that's how you get to the truth.
Yep.
And that's how the, like, in intelligence agencies train their intelligence agents, in the intelligence cycle. But that's, I was remembering all that stuff come back to
Yeah,
from
it all kind of when you wake up, then you just start studying everything, like you just want to learn about all the like
oh
Buddhism
man,
and
I think it's being
nah,
messed.
nah. Now is it okay? Now is it all right?
Yeah, yeah, it might be being messed with, because that always happens.
Oh, it happens to you too.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's actually what they do though, because being part of are we recording?
Yep.
We're recording.
Hmm.
Yeah, being part of a targeted individual, being part of as a targeted individual, they hit you with directed energy weapons all
Yeah.
the time,
Yeah.
and take out electronics around you. But I remember it's to slow down the process of you remembering what
Mm.
you're not supposed to remember.
So how did
And
you feel before here? Did you feel um like before here I was feeling heated up, like sometimes I'll feel that way when I know there's some major stuff going to be talked about, like my whole body heat and stuff. And then I kind of had rapid heartbeat too, and I was trying to like slow my heart rate down, and that doesn't happen. So I was trying to connect with you and breathe slowly, slow my heart rate down, and like meditate kind of with you to help like calm down everything, So that's what I was trying to do. But then,
yeah, I feel
you know,
that you
yeah,
definitely did a good job with that, Christy. I'm impressed by your abilities and skills. Because yeah, it is like I I know I've seen past the veil and am able to have these memories come back, and that's why you get hit with the directed energy weapons, which I've been getting hit since 2012. That's when I woke up to being followed everywhere I go, by actual teams of people that are gang stalking and doing street theater around you. They set up whole teams
yeah,
around the neighborhood and stuff to do like street theater.
yeah,
And
honking
I
horns and doing weird stuff like that. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
okay,
it's and it's a phenomenon that's been reported by thousands of people, but I'm just telling about my personal experience. But just one night when I was waking up, I just remember hearing a plane circling above my house, and just going real light. And I remember coming back outside, and then I remember looking up in the air, and it's just sitting there like circling me. It's
wow,
circling around me, and it's just kind of sitting there. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna move over, like to this field over here, and see what happens. To see if this thing is following me, because I was like, I have a feeling that this is following me. And so I went back, and then it just followed me over and was circling me, and it
wow,
just kept circling me. And then that's when I became aware that I was being followed
harassment.
by the secret space program,
Mm.
because the the plane that was circling me was not actually a plane. It was a TR series craft that are around super soldiers, because they are the craft that take us, MyLab us for the operations, the time travel. I like all the operations, and took me down when I was a kid, like 6 years old. I've had dreams of like flying these things, where I'm in a loaded position, and there's a interface over my head, and I'm
Yep.
just sitting there flying one of these crafts, because they actually look like these black triangles that are sleek and like otherworldly material, and they can light up too. They can just light up, because like if anyone goes outside right now, they can go look outside and see them, because they're everywhere,
Uh,
because they are the secret space programs craft, and they are always flying around, and they're always following me, like
oh.
definitely wherever I go.
Hmm.
But that's just yeah, that's part of being part of the program.
So so I was also seeing, I get a lot of visions when I am walking or jogging, just because I look into stuff and I try to find where our energy is, and some of the things that we've done together, you and me, and I was seeing us doing ice skating for some reason. That's weird, huh? Like we was doing ice skating,
That,
like together,
that's
like
it's
moving,
Yeah,
like,
no, that I could definitely see that, because doing on missions and stuff, it's like you do everything. Like
yeah,
you
I was
do
seeing us
everything that
ice
you
skating.
can.
I've seen us
Yeah,
ice skating and I've seen us do like where dance competition, like acrobats, doing like the tumbling and then just dance like a dance competition, like the that show, doing a dance, but we're on like a mission, uh like we're secret agents or spies or something. Because I was seeing us do like Mr. and Mrs. Smith movie, how they're dancing like, and then we're telepathic, So we was like spying, was like in a ballroom or something like that, and we was dancing, and then was there to spy on like true crime, true
True
lies,
lies, true
yeah,
lies. Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And
That's
then
yeah.
yeah, I
Because
seen that.
that's all disclosure too. I mean, everything really
Yeah.
is disclose like soft disclosure. Like every
Mm-hmm.
like that's what the movies are. And even the ACIO site, has a whole page about soft disclosure movies. And I know that when I started waking up too, you start to see the reality in the movies
Yeah.
that are shown. Like that's what happens to you, and that's what happened to me. And then as I started waking up, I started seeing like movies like Ender's Game, where they're taking children, to fight an alien race and stuff. And that was crazy because I had those memories of actually being taken up to the moon, transported up in the moon because I remember being transported like the Earth was just going away from me like fast. And I know now I was going up to the moon because I have multiple memories of being in classrooms full of children.
Yeah.
Um,
Can I tell you
and
something with that? Can I tell you something? With that part of it, I remember being with the George Bush Senior at his cloning lab out on Mars, and he had me working in like a computer thing. And I was like programming the clones, like it made different clones, whatever the people were ordering out in space. And so it would like print whatever kind of um male, female, alien, whatever color they wanted. And then I was like uploading consciousness and their whatever they wanted. But I seen that there was classrooms that was being held too, and all these kids being abducted. And then they was in a classroom setting and they had on virtual reality glasses, and all of that was scanning their consciousness and taking copies of everything that made them react, and then it would be loaded up on like a computer thing, so it could be I could put that stuff in the clones. So
yeah,
that
yeah,
reminded me of
no,
that.
that pretty much explains it because you saying that it's like because you're like when you've been involved, you're like I can't believe I've been involved in all this. This is crazy, but like you're like this actually happened because I know they take us, you know what I'm saying, to clone us,
Yeah.
and that's part of the my lab process. And then and then yeah, you're implanted, there's cybernetics and things implanted in you because
Yeah.
they make these clones at like places like the ICC, Industrial Corporeal Conglomerate,
Yeah.
which has its just tentacles all over the place, and then
Yeah.
has these other corporations like Monarch, Mobius, Murkoff, Kruger, all of these like black operations corporations that operate outside of the purview, of what humanity knows is going on. But
Yeah.
that's like
Wow.
that's what's really going on. And I mean, I remember that was what I got told because in this process of me remembering I'm super soldier, I started remembering, and then I started realizing I was getting fallen around all the time by
Mhm.
black helicopters. Like then I would have black helicopters follow me everywhere I went,
Wow.
no matter whether I was in the middle of a city or whether I was in like a forest. Like it was everywhere I went, and they would
Really?
always fly right over me too, just so because I know that they were aware of me,
Yeah.
and so one night there was a black helicopter coming at my house real low, and it was just flying right directly with me because obviously these craft are advanced because they're obviously able to project the holographic image of like whatever airplane, whatever thing that they want. Like
Okay.
because I've seen every type of with this technology, I've seen every type of airplane, helicopter, jet, in every type of paint job and color because this is part of the targeting because this is what they do is because they're always flying around me, and
Okay.
I'm always seeing the different holographic projections
Yeah.
because what it really is a black triangle that's anti-gravity. And there's sometimes where you can watch these planes coming at you, and they're just going at you sideways, like this. They're moving sideways, and because that's because they're anti-gravity.
I
And
see.
if you have the eyes to see, you'll be able to see this. But most people are not able to see this, like because. But I've shown so many people that they're there, like that
Mm-hmm.
are around me, because throughout like the past 12 years, I'm like, look, we're getting flown over right now. And
Mm-hmm.
then when they fly over, like you can literally see the outline of the black triangle, cloaked.
Oh,
And
okay.
because one time it did that, and it was over me, and it was a black triangle just cloaked.
Yeah.
And I know that these are like secret space program craft.
And they
Yeah.
just they're monitoring, just harassing, almost like
Yeah,
harassment.
yeah, yeah. They are definitely. It's harassment because you get directed energy weapon, you get dream harassment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'll talk and they don't want you to talk, and
Yeah.
then you'll get a dream like that will try and stop you, but they know that not going to stop, and that we have
Mm-hmm.
our friends in higher places, because I know that like as a star seed, I'm Arcturian.
Yep.
Like that's what in the beginning, like when they target the children, they're targeting star
Yeah.
seeds,
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
psychic abilities and all that.
Yep.
And I found out that I was Arcturian later in life, because I had experience where they were like literally standing next to me,
Yeah.
um,
Okay.
and I found out that they were actually healing me,
Yeah. In the
when
chamber.
they were always healing me. Like I actually when I had the experience, they were like had their hands like all over me. They were like working on me really fast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I know that that's because they're healing me from like all the secret space program missions and all the 20 and backs, because apparently I've been in like a lot, like multiple,
Yeah.
getting de-aged and re-aged, and that's all coming because it's all in my consciousness, it's all in
Yeah.
my soul. Because I know that they do the soul transfer technology and stuff like that. The soul capture technology, so they can get your soul out, and then part of making clones, and then your soul is like has a shard, like you're connected with that clone, so you can then like remember memories of where they are on missions in the universe and stuff, and that's all coming back. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's an experience.
Because you've had like Jedi, is that right? Like a Jedi. Um, you're a Jedi, right? The Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have telekinesis, because they said that like the implants and stuff, part of the implants are stopping the abilities from happening,
Oh,
because I would like wake up uh in my bed, in as I was a kid, and I would wake up with bloody noses, like it'd just be blood all over my pillow, and then I found out from my files later that they were putting those up there, just for like inhibiting psychic abilities, and for like other reasons too.
oh yeah, the frequency, like change it, like putting it for a symptom with the frequency, huh? Like that to help
Yeah,
to make it not you're not be able to tap into that, maybe blocking the your whole pineal gland, huh? Or in that those abilities, the mental stuff, all your mental like mind abilities. Yeah, and that's a Jedi. That would be a
they're, they're
Jedi, the
they're not going to be able to
telekinesis.
do it. Yeah, they're not going to be able to do it for too long, because all
No.
I have is like dreams of levitating all over the place. Like I've just
Yeah.
had dreams of
Mm-hmm.
levitating, and I know I'm seeing into the future, because I've had so many instances where I'd
Yeah.
have a dream, and then something like that would happen. Like it would happen in the dream. Like one time I was in France, and I had this dream that these police were looking at me, or looking for me, and then the next day I was just like having a drink in the parking lot, and then these cops come in, and they're like, hey, they're like, what are you doing? Like, you're not supposed to be drinking. And that was me seeing in the future,
Oh,
with
okay.
cops see. So
Yeah.
like I have all of
Oh,
those. I
okay. I
have
see something too, like a timeline, like you can read the timelines ahead of
I can
time or
see
any
that.
time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that. I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just have all these future memories, and then I have all the all the uh, secret space program missions coming back, and and then all the past lives coming back, and then it's just like sorting all those out and what they are is
Mhm.
part of like what I'm doing with integrating and all that with being in contact with my soul, because
Yeah.
that's what this is all about, is
Mhm.
is is the more soul contact you have, like the more with in contact you're in with the other side. The more esoteric you go, the more inward you go, the
Mhm.
more in contact you'll be with the other side.
Yeah.
um, Obviously learned through the initiation of the mystery schools and stuff, is turning it from being exoteric to esoteric,
Oh yeah.
and
So it's
and
inside.
experiencing reality subjectively rather than objectively,
Yeah.
because what the truth is about consciousness is that it's actually mind that creates matter. It's
Mhm.
not matter that creates mind,
Yeah.
which is which science says. But they're like in the Stone Ages, and there are obviously higher civilizations that have figured out everything, and actually the Illuminati are one of those civilizations, because they have figured out the grand unified theory of everything,
Yeah.
which does explain the nature of reality, the purpose of existence, the meaning of life. It gives out the God equation, which is the most beautiful equation that there is, that explains the creation of the universe, and where it came from, and how there's imaginary realm and regular realm, and that makes up the six-dimensional cosmos of the universe, because we have the mental dream realm, and then we have the physical reality,
Mm.
which one's non-physical, one is physical, one's dimensionless, one is dimensional, one is, and it's just there's two different realms and realities that we can experience both of them,
Mhm.
and then that's what it's about, is bridging them together.
Yeah. You know
You
what
can
I'm
do that
seeing
like
for you?
remembering dreams
I'm
and
seeing like you said you wanted to remember all the stuff, all your memories and stuff. So I was seeing like you as in the Egyptian, like you look like an Egyptian person, like a pharaoh, and then you have your hands out like this inside the pyramid there, and it's coming down through the pyramid like you're standing in the middle, and then the light is coming through like that, and it's feeding all your soul information, all past lives into your palms and into your hand like light, like you're like feed it to me, and then it's like coming down through your palms and inside like light. You're just eating it, like it's like a download. And then I've seen you also. I think like you just love knowledge so much. You love knowledge,
lover,
like
yeah, lover of wisdom, lover
yeah.
of knowledge. That is the
So
philosopher.
I
Yeah.
see you like in the it's like the Akashic records or whatever records. It's like you just want to update it on all information. So it's like you hold your hand here and it's like absorbing into you, and then you just take it, like put it in, like you just have all this libraries of information of stuff, and then it's like you just absorb it into you.
That is impressive, though, because that's the thing is, when I awoke into, the first thing I did was, I found the book Awakening to Zero Point. That was one of the books that I found by Greg Braden,
Oh, okay.
and in that book I found the Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean,
Yeah.
and then
Mm-hmm.
I read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth the
Mm-hmm.
Atlantean, and that obviously brought back like everything, because he talks about Atlantis, the sinking of Atlantis, them needing to preserve the secrets of science and magic,
Yeah.
and bring him to Egypt, and them landing in spaceships in Egypt, and rising the people up to the
Mm-hmm.
heights that they had attained. So he gives the whole account, and I knew that this was resonant to me, because like I remember my past lives in Atlantis too,
Yeah.
and being there, and the waves coming, everything being destroyed, and
What did you do in Atlantis? What was your role?
I don't know, I was probably some sort of priest or something. I was a Jedi, like a Jedi, like a priest, because always like just uh Jedis were protectors of like the Pharaoh and stuff, and so I was definitely a Jedi warrior,
Mm-hmm.
like, and that's what Toth is he's a Jedi,
Oh,
and
okay.
through the Emerald Tablets he explains like there's many different layers of meaning to them, but they are real. And
Hmm.
I've even seen them too. Like in my dreams, I saw this, the emerald tablets, and they were like this indestructible emerald, like, and I saw
Yeah.
them in like in this case or
Yeah,
something like that.
I see you juggling sacred geometry too. Like you're just they just moves through your hands, like keeping it going. Then you'll just it's like you like to eat the knowledge, you know? Like you just like to eat it and absorb
It's
it into
light.
you.
Like that's what it is. The knowledge is light. Like
Hmm.
that's what I have found out, and that's what
Hmm.
I've always seek for is the light. And you know, it's knowledge, and I found that out through the Illuminati too, through the
Hmm.
hero's journey,
Yeah.
because that's what I found out was when I was remembering these Templar lives and stuff. I was remembering like Holy Grail and what's the Holy Grail and finding out what the Holy Grail is, which led me to the Illuminati because they are the keepers of the Grail.
Oh, okay.
And it is like an actual it's a hero's journey. You go through the hero's journey, which is the awakening of the soul,
Oh, okay.
and because on the other side before we come in, I know that I've learned that we drink of this river called the River Lathe, which is a river of forgetfulness of how much you want to remember in your next life. And I learned this from the Illuminati. And some souls drink a lot of it because they don't want to remember what they live, but some souls don't drink a lot. And I've obviously didn't drink a lot
Yeah.
because I started remembering when I was born and stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm not special because all the kids do, but it's the system that stops that ability and stuff from happening. But obviously they're not going to be able to they're not they can't do that forever. They can't hold back the truth, because that's what's going to happen is the truth is not going to be held back anymore as we go into
Yeah.
the future.
I guess some of us had to be more awakened ahead of time so then we could hold the light so then more and be an influence for others, to wake up and feel like, oh, I that feels like I want to do that too. I want to be able to talk about my experiences too. I need to learn about my experiences. Like so there has to always be somebody to kind of look up to. I know we look within ourselves, but there's always something that kind of um is like a teacher or something like that, that kind of helps us go forward with our thinking. Like with you went on a search though, like you woke up, but you when you were little though, and the hand came out to abduct you, and then when you were waking up, then what was the teacher, your first teacher that you kind of was looking to like for answers when you were
Oh yeah.
little?
Yeah, it was definitely Ramtha the Enlightened One, because
Okay.
my grandma, she always had her books around her about Palladians and all the different things. And my grandfather was actually he was an engineer, and he worked on the secret space program. He couldn't say that and he couldn't talk about it, but he worked on lasers, propulsion systems, and robotics. And he designed the engine for like the first vertical takeoff and propulsion, vertical takeoff and landing
Yeah.
engine, and lasers. Like he worked on the Star Wars Defense Initiative, like doing the lasers, like in the satellites, and
Hmm.
so he was doing all that stuff. So my grandma and my grandpa were both obviously
Your teacher
extraterrestrials.
and your teachers.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, teachers, and they always have been, because my grandma's she's still alive. She's 88. She was a naturopath and stuff. But I had the two different sides, like the science, technology, and then the healing, in my life. But I was born, obviously remembering stuff from past lives when I was little, because I'd walk around and like put my hand on people's head,
Oh.
saying, "May the Father within you make you whole,"
Oh.
and just like doing that like as a little kid.
Oh.
So I was an old soul that
Yeah.
wasn't I didn't ever lose my abilities
Innocence
and stuff.
too.
Yeah,
In your
and innocence
innocence too.
of
Mm-hmm.
life. So
Mm-hmm.
I was able to retain, because that's how I understand is the psychic abilities stay with you if you stay childlike.
Yep.
If
Mm-hmm.
you maintain the childlikeness, you'll
Yep.
maintain your abilities. And that's what I've always been able to do, is just like remember all my dreams and stuff. and that's been something because all the memories that I have, like the first memory that I had that came back was like I was in this city and we were evacuating the city and there was the like a glass city. It was a glass city. It looked futuristic, advanced. It was on like a seashore, like
Hmm.
a by the sea, and we were there evacuating and there was a weapon that was on the planet, like some kind of weapon that they discharged. And I saw this huge. I was in one of the buildings, and I saw this huge uh, plasma ball come down out of the sky, and it
Oh,
just landed in the ocean, and then this huge wave comes up and just starts destroying the city. And then when what happened was it hit the building I was in, and I was able to just like with my hand went down and hit the ground, and then this bubble formed up around me, and it's just like what this bubble protection, and all this glass came in, but it started slowing down all
oh,
around me. Like it was slowing
wow.
down, and there was all these like light glints and like time, like everything lit up bright and like was tight, and everything slowed down,
Yeah.
and then I woke up from that memory, but that was definitely one of my recalls that I had
Mm,
of being on a mission, obviously on some other planet, and we were
yeah.
doing an evacuation. Like
Yeah.
I
But
found out that that
you
was
were
it was that
young, you were little like then. You were younger, or what? How old were you
I
when you?
was younger. I
Uh-huh.
was younger. That was when I first started
Yeah.
remembering when I
Mm-hmm.
was like teenager. Then I just started having all these different memories come back of being like of going into deep underground military bases and rescuing children.
Yep. I've seen
I
that.
have I
Mhm.
have a memory of going into this deep underground military base, and then there was a guard standing out front, and I took out the guard, and then I remember infiltrating the deep underground military base, and there being other guards that came and attacked us.
Yeah.
But then I used telekinesis though because I took them and I threw them up against the wall. I just remember throwing them up against the wall,
Yeah.
and
Do you
then
remember ever scaling down into the cave like that? We're scaling down into the cave, and then we was like in a small team like that, and then we was in the tunnel was all dark, and then we had to see 'cause this was like insects, giant insects that was coming out at us. And then we had to I guess we shot them or something with our weapon with something, and then they all were gone. And then we went on in, and then there was like an opening like of the cave where they could see out, but all the whole wall was like cages full of kids. Like it was so many high up all the way, and we had to go and get them all out of there while we had the time. And then a Pleiadian craft was above, and it was taking all the kids. We had to put them on like a
yeah,
plank thing, and it was lifting them up. We had to go and get all of them. So
no,
do you remember
that
doing that?
yeah, I mean, no,
Mm-hmm.
my soul knows that that's what the operations were contained,
Mm-hmm.
because I remember that's how they get extracted is because the crafts are up there, taking them out.
Yeah,
Once
that's the
we,
only
once,
way. Yeah. That's the
yeah,
only way
like
that they'll get help too, because they get healing and everything too from the craft, and then we just get out of there. I don't think that we get on the craft, or do we just go back? We probably get on the craft too. I bet.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know because I've been on the crafts. I've
Yeah.
been on them actually. I was on one the other night. It actually pretty amazing. Like the way when you're on a craft and it's just all sleek looking and just like just white, and
Okay.
I went in the elevator and went up to this elevator, and then got out, and then these beings were walking around. They looked human, but they were like advanced, and they had these clothes on that
Yep.
were like advanced looking, like they had
Yep.
these like
I
little
see it.
little
Yep.
triangle
Yeah.
triangle things, and I think as Arcturians,
Yeah. I
like
see them.
because
They're real tall
I
and slender and little face, little body, but really tall.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I went on that ship, and I actually, I think I took a voyage to Arcturus because I remember being on
Yeah.
that ship and then being on a planet, and it was beautiful, and
Mm-hmm.
I think I gotta take a trip.
I see them setting you down on there, and then it's like they put some glasses or something on you, but then they were like touching they were in front of you, like that, the eye doctor, and they were kind of doing stuff like this to help kind of recalibrate or something like that too, but maybe show you what maybe for healing, because it looks like they was doing a healing on your whole body, when you were there like that. So it's I see, like you felt refreshed or something afterwards. Was it like, did they send you like a place would be like a waterfall or like Hawaii or wherever
Yeah,
you'd be?
yeah, it looked like Hawaii, but that's definitely where it was.
Yeah,
And
because you like that.
I
Oh,
felt
I was seeing
refreshed.
you as like a bird too, I think you would like to be like a bird,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
flying.
that would be I love running, so
Mm-hmm.
flying would be another level of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
That would yeah.
Yeah, running really fast and leaping across buildings and stuff like that in the as
I
a
mean I have, not only do I have dreams of levitating and stuff all the time and telekinesis and like, I have actually experienced teleporting too because
yeah.
I had this dream where I'm like on this party, there's this boat and stuff, and I'm just like at this party, and then I'm just like boom, and I just everything lights up, and I'm in this restaurant, eating
Okay.
eating with my friend, and I just teleported,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I've felt that, I've felt how that feels, which
Yeah, were you on a mission or were you just doing that
I,
or
no, I think didn't feel like I was on a mission.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what I started to find out was, when I got access to my files and stuff because I was wondering what was going on with being a My Lab and then the secret space program
Mm-hmm.
because I was doing all the research and then I actually found James Rink,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and then got friends with him and like, learned about all that and got connected with Peter the Insider,
Mm-hmm.
who he is, and does have a bit like only 10 people in the world. Like he doesn't show his face for a reason. If people like he's been at he's operated at the highest levels of SEAL teams, of special activities division. Like he's the real deal
Mm-hmm.
with special operations. So
Yeah.
that's why he doesn't show his face. And
Okay.
but he like I got into contact with him and then got to explain everything that was happening to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then he basically was able to get into my files, tell me who was behind, me being a super soldier, which was Kruger and
Oh, okay.
Monarch,
Okay.
and saying that I was a sleeper agent, like, but I obviously wasn't sleeping anymore, and confirmed that, and then like confirmed, how many planets I'd been to, which is like 162 planets, and then over 4,000 missions. Where they keep using you for missions like
Yeah.
through MK Ultra, and then the alters and stuff like that,
Yeah.
because super soldiers get MK Ultra,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mind wiped. Mind wiped
yeah, and
after each time.
yeah,
So we
yeah, it's
got
crazy.
so much, we got so much information and then it's just erased. And then like over and over and over. But like going through all your timelines and stuff too, like I can see like you would be to where you would be where you could do remote viewing and then you could open up the portal, like that and then go in into the timelines that they send you into like a to go in and um to remote influence and to also like be there like either physically or just influencing the person to make the decision or however like if you're standing behind them but also be there like time traveling to that point too and going on a mission to like that movie Timeless where they have to change just one thing like that so you do those a lot where you're everywhere all over time like going through there and then changing stuff too like sometimes they would have you change what they're saying like if they was going to give a speech then you give them the speech like you give them what
Oh
they're to say
Oh,
to
that's
the
huge. That's huge for
hmm
changing things is language and words and stuff. And now I can see that being part of the operations, the timeline operations of changing things, because that's where all the Mandela effects are coming from. And then people are wondering because time's not linear,
Yep.
and in just regular four-dimensional physics and stuff, which is three dimensions of space, one dimension of time. Time travel is not possible.
Hmm.
But in what actually is, which is six-dimensional cosmology, which is three dimensions of space and three dimensions of time, that actually explains time travel being possible.
Oh,
And
okay.
the elite know that. Like the
Hmm.
elite actually know this, and they actually know too that reality isn't actually physical. They actually
It's
um
it's slowed down for that part of it.
did it
I
did
don't.
yeah,
I don't,
because I
because you're talking about time travel.
the higher ups, like our friends in higher places and like the secret societies, they've already figured out like how to unify uh, uh, general relativity and quantum mechanics,
Hmm.
which science still is trying to do, and they'll never actually really do it. Like they'll say that they're going to do it, but there are obviously civilizations and stuff that have already done it.
Yeah.
And I know that the Illuminati are one of them because they have just know the grand unified theory of everything.
Yeah. Hmm.
What it does do though is it does prove that mind is primary to
Hmm.
matter.
Hmm.
And like once that truth is out, like people will be using their mind, learning how to like control their minds to create matter, which I know is part of the mission here for like raising consciousness and stuff like that, is
Yeah.
to get people to understand
Use your
the
mind.
power of,
Your
yeah,
mind.
power of the mind.
Yeah. So
And
I see
um
you like sitting in a, I see them using you in both where you would be in the chair, and then they, they're doing the torture to make you use your abilities, like you're opening up, like at Montauk, how they have you opening up like the portal there to go into there, to go do missions, whatever they have us do. They erase it right after, so it's like we don't know exactly how that happens, but I see you also like they would put the in other places like a virtual reality glasses, but I see you like breaking them with your mind, with your mental power. So they take them off, and then you can do it without the glasses on. You because you
yeah,
and then it just opens up, and then they tell you wherever to go and you find it. So
yeah,
with the glasses on though, that's too it doesn't work as strong. It like it's too slow, it slows you down and it messes up a lot of stuff too when they put the glasses on, the virtual
yeah.
reality, or it glitches,
Okay.
like you make them glitch out or something because you're really intense with your thinking, like it almost like overheats, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I am though. My focus is I focus, I practice focusing. And obviously that's for my abilities, to amplify my abilities now, because I do practice, making matter with my mind,
Hmm.
because when I figured out how to do this, and I actually learned about ninjutsu, because that was when I started studying ninjutsu. And then I learned about kujikiri, which is what the ninjas do. It's a type of meditation where you use mudras, different mudras, with different mantras, and then you're creating with the universe, like with your
Oh,
mind.
okay. Uh-huh.
And so I just started practicing that,
Mm.
and
Makes you
I
really
learned
strong. Makes you
it
really
does.
strong. Hmm.
Strength is one of the mudras. So I focus on strength, every day, and obviously get the abilities. This is what the ninjas knew. This is why people were reporting them having supernatural abilities.
Hmm.
And I learned about that, and then I started practicing it. And what happened was, I learned how to focus on an image of what I wanted my reality like to create, like my dream. So I drew an image, and then what I did was I just focused on it every day. Like
Hmm.
I woke up, focused on it, and then my like reality shifting started shifting around me because there was a store that opened up next to me called the Time Machine.
Oh,
Like
wow.
it just like out of nowhere, this store popped up, and it was called the Time Machine, and
Oh,
I was like, well, that's random. But then like what happened was I just kept doing it, and then right what happened was another store opened up right beneath me, and it was an MMA fighting store,
mm,
which was, you know, I do martial arts and I was
mm-hmm.
fighting.
Yeah,
So that store was like very helpful to me because I was able to like get sponsored by them, and they gave me everything I needed.
yeah.
And I was like, okay, okay, this there's, you know, and then I kept doing it, and then a holistic healer and like masseuse opened up like right next to that store, and then I found out that her name was Magic,
Oh,
like that
wow.
was her name, and so like that those are like the three things that happened where I was like, oh, I am manifesting,
Yeah,
like
wanting that. That's what the things that you were drawing that you wanted for time
yeah.
travel to be able to time. Did you go to the store next door to do the time travel
Oh yeah,
or?
yeah. It was like an antique store. It was a, you know,
Oh,
like an
nice.
antique store. But that message, you know, that synchronicity was like definitely because I know I've been involved in time travel, and
Mm-hmm.
then there's a store opening up called the Time Machine next to you.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of crazy. But you know, just one more thing was, you know, when I found out my files and stuff and got access to my files and talked to Peter the Insider, which, you know, he's been very helpful for me to understand, you know, all the stuff that's pretty
Yeah.
secret and stuff. Like
Yeah.
he told me, like, I'm like, am I gonna be getting approached? Like one time I asked him, like, am I gonna be getting approached? And then he told me, like, yeah, you'll be getting approached by Lincoln Clay, was what he said.
Mm.
And Lincoln Clay actually was a black man, and he's on this video game called Mafia 3,
Mm-hmm.
where, you know, the whole premise of the game is him just taking out mafia guys, you know, guys that are like not good. But one day I was walking down, and he said it would happen in 2 months. He said it would happen in 2 months. And then one time I'm just walking down the trailway, and I was just always practicing martial arts in the forest, and there was a man standing right there in my pathway, and he approached me. He's like, "Hey," he's like, are you that fighter?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know, I do fighting and stuff." He's like, "Oh yeah, I think I've seen you." He's like, "You're pretty, you know, you're pretty good and stuff." And I'm like, he's like, "Yeah," and then he had this Marine shirt on. He had a Marine shirt, and he was black, and then he's just like, "Yeah, I'm just here watching my son on a baseball game and stuff." And he's like, "Yeah, you know, it's just back from deployment and stuff." And he's just mentioning military talk, but I didn't like recognize him because of like memory wipes and all that stuff. But you know, Peter told me that he would come up to me and approach me, and he
Oh,
did.
wow.
And then like when I walked away from him, he stuck out his hand away, and I guess this guy is the head of all like black operations and stuff, like you know, for Kruger, and you know, he stuck out his hand, and he said, "Oh, by the way, my name's Jay," you know, which isn't like Lincoln Clay. It's like a little, you know, underlying. He was, it was close to Lincoln Clay, you know,
Yeah.
it was Jay that he
Yeah.
said, but that was me being approached by you know,
Lincoln Clay.
yeah, Lincoln Clay, who is the commander for the Special Operations Unit 374, which I found out is the unit that I'm doing like missions with.
Is that Kruger or
Yeah,
what? Oh, okay. Like
yeah,
he's the head of it
yeah,
or something?
I found out too. That's when I found out too, because when I, you know, everybody's being used for different things, but like when I got access to my files, that's when Peter told me that he was like, I was actually involved in doing good things. Like, even
Yeah.
though it's like when good things, it's like rescuing children, you know, taking out like bad people. Like that's what he meant by good things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I found out that there were corporations that were actually, you know, in a war with these other corporations, and they're actually looking out for the, you know, good of humanity,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
that's good then.
for the positive, you know, for the positive of humanity. There actually
Yeah.
is out. Yeah.
So after that meeting, then what did you see him again, or what happened? Like, did it happen in astral, or what? How did that happen?
Uh, No, no, I didn't have again, but I just started getting back more memories. Just one vivid memory was I'm like in a space station, and everybody's just running around and scrambling around.
A space station, like a what? Like um, describe, like, what would that be?
Oh,
Like, it just
like
like,
I remember like I remember very vividly what because the space station was gigantic. Like
uh,
it was like the size of New York. It
oh
was just
wow.
huge. And I remember being in the space station, and this memory was so this was one of my most vivid experiences because I just remember I was in this space station and people running around and they're screaming and they're
Oh,
the space station's going down,
oh
like.
no.
And then I remember going up to this pod, like this door, and this door opened up and there was a guy that hit this button. He hit a button and the door opened up, and then just this hole is there, and there this metal slide just like appears and like just goes down, and this metal slide goes down, and then I just jumped in
Mhm.
the thing down the metal slide, and I just popped into this cockpit that was like 360 around me, like a
Oh,
glass.
okay. Hmm.
I just popped into that cockpit, and then they shot me out into space,
Oh
and
wow.
I was just like I was in space, and I remember like looking around and seeing the whole space station, and it was just huge. It was
Going.
just gigantic,
Wow.
and I remember floating through space, and I just remember the feeling of floating through space,
Hmm.
and I just remember looking and seeing the whole space station. And then I remember there was a war going on because there were ships coming in and shooting the space station. And then I remember taking my ship, and then I remember like doing strafe runs on other ships that were attacking, and I was just like shooting the strafe runs, and these other ships were just crashing into the space station, and
Yeah.
it was going down. There's a huge war going on. And then I remember I got shot down because
Oh.
I remember I remember feeling this pain in my side, and then I got shot down, but then I appeared in this clone vat again,
Oh.
and I just like, came out again, and then I woke up, and I remember having the pain in my side.
Oh yeah. Like the
Yeah,
memory of it still, huh? With there,
yeah,
but
it's
that you
crazy.
just kept on going. Like, you be you. They had multiple clones of you ready to go in
I
case
know I
one.
got shot. I know I got destroyed, but I remember there being just a split second, and then I was like back in this place where there were
In
multiple
space
like
shooting.
units around. Yeah,
Hmm.
there was no just like shutting off of my consciousness or anything.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow. Wow.
right.
And this space station, does it look like the Jetsons or something like that? How it's like on a tower with the thing?
Well, it looked like because the fighter that I was in, there's a movie called Lost in Space, like the newer one, what's his name, Matthew LeBlanc. He's the guy from Friends. Like
Oh, okay.
he plays the major, but there's a ship in there that has that 360-degree glass dome that I
Yeah.
remember like being popped into,
Yep.
and the space station kind of looked the same as that, but
Oh,
it was definitely big.
wow.
And these were memories that were coming back because I had another memory where I was because I have a lot of memories where I'm running away because I found out that I am a Kruger runner. Like, I'm a runner for Kruger, and one of the abilities of a Kruger runner is to be able to run extremely fast, like you're teleporting.
Oh,
And
okay.
they show that like as Quicksilver and the X-Men. Like that's actually what Kruger runners can do.
Yeah.
And
Like the Flash, like something
the
with that.
Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I had this memory where because you're sent on espionage missions,
Yep.
and you're infiltrated and stuff, and you're doing sabotage, you're stealing something, and there's a lot of running away. There's
Hmm.
definitely a lot of running away,
Yeah.
and so I remember one mission, I'm like running away, and these agents are behind me, and then I went up to this elevator, and I got in the elevator and got to the side in the elevator, and I'm like, I'm acting all this out because it really happened to me.
Yeah. I
You know
see
what
it.
I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm
Like, it's
following.
just
Hmm.
obviously it's really, and I'm doing the best I can to act it
Hmm.
out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And then they go by.
they started shooting through the
Oh,
elevator, and bullet holes were going through, and then they ended up cutting the elevator.
oh shit.
Uh,
The
yeah,
cord.
and then I fell like down all these stories of of this building, and then slammed into the bottom. But I was a super soldier, so I wasn't like phased by it. And
Yeah.
then I got out, and there were agents all over the place. And then I remember, see, because I'm not supposed to remember like any of this.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
am not. I'm not supposed to remember any of this. Like I get targeted, and I'm not
Hmm.
supposed to remember any of this. Like they
Yeah.
know that I know this. They know that I'm telling people.
Hmm.
Like they even I even have a memory of them telling me, because I have a memory of being in front of a general. Like he's this general, and I saw, like, I was sitting there in front of him, and he's like, "No one's gonna believe you if you
Yeah.
tell them this." Like
Hmm.
he was telling me that, and I
Hmm.
remember him telling me that.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that's the thing, is like with this memory, I remember there being agents everywhere around, but then I remember I started running up the walls. Like I
Okay.
started running up the walls,
Hmm.
and then these weapons came out of my hands, like with nanotech. And then I remember having two weapons, which I heard what Peter calls are 3-in-1s, because they have three different types of like discharges in them. And I just remember like simultaneously, uh
Superman,
yeah,
like Spider-Man, like
yeah, gun
Spider-Man.
cotting, like gun cotting people, like simultaneously taking out everybody.
Oh, okay.
And and then like I remember waking up from that. So I was having all of these uh memories come back of being in the secret space program. And it was yeah, these are real. Like these.
It's like they give you the mission, it's like downloaded into your consciousness, and then you go at it, and then you return, and it's like you return, and it's like it's a, like almost like a bed, how they would almost erase the memory and then put you back out, so they
uh,
redo it in case you got
it
shot or anything
it
like that.
it's real. It's real though, because because I've just written so many books and stuff explaining this. But giving out disclosure movies, like there's Jason Bourne, which
Yeah.
is what we go through. Like he has all these memories of doing shit that he doesn't remember doing, but he did it. But
Yeah.
that's what we go through in MK Ultra.
Mm-hmm.
And like Dollhouse too. They do
Yep.
that in Dollhouses. They program them, and for whatever they need, send them out on a mission, and then erase their memory
Just
of it.
like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
That's like the Kruger. That's
right,
like,
and
mm-hmm.
I learned that the highly psychic people have the ability to remember like
Yeah.
more.
Mm-hmm.
um
Yeah.
so and
I remember running really fast. I remember a mission where it was on a, like, it's a military training center, and a lot of us go there for martial arts training and everything. And then but they have us go out in the field, and I don't know if it's a simulation or we're actually going out in the field. But I remember being in like an airplane, and then having to jump out of the airplane, and land on my feet, and then I got to start taking off running as fast as I can because people are chasing after me, and I run up the cliff, and then they're like trying to swipe at me, trying to grab my, but I'm fast, and then I'm up at the top, and then I keep running, and then there's more things chasing me, and then my ride comes like a helicopter over the cliff, and I just run and grab the end of it, and then it's like a mission where we have to do it over and over and over for like the top points or something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
like we're doing
that's
it for
how.
points.
Yeah, that's how they do it. That's how they run it, like to get you, the best that you can be.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is crazy. It's just crazy when you remember everything that's happening. And like it's the mission, like they don't stop. Like you're still being utilized for the missions, because the other night I had a dream where I was on an oil tanker, and I was obviously doing some kind of mission there where we took out the whole oil tanker, and I was like sinking in the oil tanker. I was like, going down with it.
Oh,
And
wow.
some of the missions, you get killed in, and
Oh,
then you like because there was another mission too where I uh, remember we were infiltrating a base like in like South America, Panama or something like that. Like there were, it was forest, and we went into this base. And there were we went in, and there were basically there were we got caught. We got in a firefight, and it was, I believe this was a Nazi time traveling mission because we were in there, and then I got captured, and then I remember being captured, and there being like this big entity behind me, like leading me down the hallway. And I remember looking out to the side and there being a trapezoidal window, and there just being this huge, large electromagnetic dish array, like a huge, just something you'd see on Star Wars.
Oh,
And I think that this was a secret base in South America for
oh,
the Nazis.
oh,
And I was there, and like I ended up escaping
oh,
out of my cuffs, and then I ran out, and then I got tased. I got tased, and then I got captured again. But then I ended up escaping again, and then I remember running out to this airfield tarmac where there was an old World War II plane. That's why I'm saying this was like a time travel
Nazi.
mission.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it was a World War II plane, and there was my other team. There was other teammates there, like in that plane. There was like a teammate of like four other people, and we
Oh,
got in that plane, and we took off like from this base, and we were flying. And then I remember they sent out a squadron of what were called ME, or no, they were called BF 109s. Like that's what they had back in World War II. Like I recognized them as BF 109s, and they came and they shot us down.
oh
And
man.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, because I remember being in I remember being in
Flying.
the transport,
Mm-hmm.
and then seeing that they were just swarming around us. They were swarming
Yeah.
around us, and then I was like, "Oh shit! Like
Mm-hmm.
we're done." And then I remember like things riddling through the
And
plane,
going
and
down.
and then I woke up from that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Wow.
kind of like definitely how my memories go. Is I remember them in my sleep.
Yeah. Do you think that they're just time travel missions to where they sending you on different ones like that, like doing the like they calibrate where they want to send you throughout time, like that's still going on, like that was a time travel mission, like a time soldier. You think
Yeah, I
that?
know that
Hmm.
I volunteered for this, and
Hmm.
I know that
Yeah.
I'm like active,
Yeah.
and it is something that is like for me, I enjoy it because
Yeah.
like the the the,
Yeah.
the experiences that I have are 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 extraordinary,
Yeah.
and that's part of the hero's journey is this is for anybody, any soul that wants to go on the quest for the grail. They got to go through the hero's journey,
Hmm.
and the hero's journey is like you have the world of common day, which is your everyday, 9 to 5, everything's the same, everything's mundane, nothing changes, and then you get your call to adventure, which is, there's got to be something more than this. There's got to be something more than, this mundane, monotonous drudgery. And
Hmm.
then, you either refuse the call or you accept the call, which
Yeah.
is the blue or red pill,
Oh, okay.
and which is contained in the Matrix, because the Matrix is actually one of the main movies that outlines the blueprint of the hero's journey.
Oh, okay.
And and understanding that is a key to becoming a master of two worlds and having the freedom to live.
Yeah.
Which are the two endpoints of the hero's journey, because once you accept once you blue pill, red pill, once you take the red pill, you go into the extraordinary world,
Yeah.
which is the world that was not of the world of common day. It's the world that is more than meets the eye, the
Hmm.
world of that. And then once you're there, you're like, holy shit, this is a lot for me to handle. But
Hmm.
then you meet with the mentor. You meet with somebody that's been in the extraordinary world that will help you get through the road and test of trials,
Hmm.
which you then go through in the extraordinary world. And then you have apotheosis, which is meeting with God. And then you receive the reward, which is knowledge. and then with that knowledge, you decide to go back into the world of common day, which is the magic flight back. And you may get attacked by people, agents, things that are trying to stop you, but you have the reward and you know the truth, and they are not able to touch you. And then you become the master of two worlds, and then you have the freedom to live, and you have the ability to help other people have the freedom to live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was the whole that was the hero's journey, and
okay.
they have it in every movie. In every movie, you can see it like in almost every movie. This blueprint, where they're in this common day world, and then they get called to adventure. And
Yeah.
it takes them into this
Yeah.
adventurous world and stuff, which is something that I found out that you can actually do, like with your soul, that we're
Yeah.
all actually anyway.
Like the movie I posted, how you said that's self-disclosure, the
Yep.
one player, however that is, what is it? One
Ready,
player.
ready. Yep, Ready Player One. It is.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
definitely is though, because he has it. The world of common day for him is that world of where everybody's in the
Trailers.
the trailers and stuff and living that life. But the call to adventure, the extraordinary worlds, it is the oasis, and
Yes.
that actually is something that's real too though, because we as humans can expand our consciousness, and there is more than going on in this reality than just the physical world,
Mm-hmm.
because that's why it's important to understand your dreams, and start to bridge and connect with the dream world and the mental world
Yeah.
as as part of the like ascension that's happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and doing meditation, I feel like that, or some form of meditation, or even if it's exercising while and meditating, however you can do to be alone and go within yourself. That's how I do it. Is when I'm walking or jogging, then I'll see stuff. So that's kind of my walking meditation, and I'm listening to different music and stuff, and it takes me on different frequencies of stuff, like that too. So. Yeah, I usually will project like a lot of fire, usually just going around me when I'm walking. Like fire,
Yeah.
it's just like, and I'm just walking real calm, but the fire but it has like all my guides and stuff like that around me, usually it's just
Yeah.
fire. And
Yeah,
then,
I know that, that's thing too, is like, if you belong to the future, you will be preserved,
mm,
and we definitely belong to the future, and that's why, we will make it through this. We'll be preserved. We'll make it through to the other side of this, because I know at the end of this, that's what we've been waiting for, is to get to the end of this where, we are reconnected with our friends in higher places, all the technology is released, all the secrets are revealed, and that's what full disclosure is. So
mm-hmm,
it's like that is definitely, I know, the mission that we're here on, that we came to be here to experience, is the unfolding of this at this time, and it is exciting. It's been a ride, and it's been a trip, but it is exciting, and I know that this that does end up in humanity reaching the stars.
mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely so. And it's like they needed us to come here, they needed us because we would have our memories so we could help stir the pot, like get people to kind of wake up and shake them up out of their mundane lives too. So if we didn't come here, then they'd still be continuing on with the mundane things, like that too. So yeah.
Yeah, it is the Great Awakening, and it's just it's something to be. I know, like, knowledge is power. Knowledge is definitely power, and the more you know, the better. And
Yeah.
that's why I've definitely done like what I can do to learn as much as I can, to just get this out to
Yep.
help raise the consciousness and
Mm-hmm.
make an effect in the timeline.
Yep, exactly.
Because
Yeah,
like
it
that's
does.
that's yeah,
And your
yeah,
books
that's
too, like doing all of that, because even though it's like for me, they move pretty slowly on sales and stuff like that, but I know that they're more in the future, like that, so it takes time
right,
for
right.
people to catch up to there,
I had
so
that. Yeah, I had that acknowledged. I have that acknowledged by the Pythagorean Illuminati, because they're like, if your future self told you, came back and told you who you were and what you were doing in the future, would you believe it? You know what I'm saying? That's the question. And
Yeah.
it's like, if your future self came back and told you that you're this and that in the future and you're ahead of this and all this, and I know that that's what you meant. It's for the future,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why this is going to be known.
Yeah.
And that's, we are the light bearers of this knowledge, and people will be coming to understand this.
Mm-hmm.
And we are a little ahead of time, but I know that time gap is definitely getting less and less.
Yeah, it's
You
true.
know,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
That's true.
patience has been paid off. Because I've learned a lot of patience
Yep.
with meditation and
Yep.
martial arts, and
Mm-hmm.
I know that's helped me be able to, you know, to get through this, to wait this out,
Yeah.
to not wait this out. I'm gonna say enjoy this because it's
And to
life.
be humble too, like and being staying humble,
Right.
like that.
Like we're in
Mm-hmm.
these bodies, I actually found out that the soul is the non-locality of the soul is like we basically we operate these bodies like a drone operator operates a drone.
Okay.
Because like what I learned about the non-local nature of a soul and stuff is it's not inside of space and time, because there's a realm outside of space and time, and then there's a realm inside of space and time, and the soul actually projects into the realm of space and time, from this realm outside of space and time, through what's called a Fourier transform. And
Okay.
so the soul is actually non-local and the mind is non-local, but it is projected into the body through this
Yeah.
mathematical thing, and so we are actually located in this other dimension too, which is actually non-physical, non-material, immaterial, not dimensionless. And that this is what explains dreams. This is what explains the unconscious, and what science that actually doesn't explain is
Mm.
that this cosmology is what actually explains that, the realm of mind, and which is the realm of frequencies too. Everything's generated from this realm.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why we can have multiple avatar bodies too. What the our consciousness can be projected into all these different avatars in this in on Earth at the same time too, but different. We would all look different, But it probably I've never seen my self, I've never seen that like ran into a clone or whatever. It wouldn't be a clone, it'd probably look different because I would want it to be doing different missions and stuff like that too. So I think some of my
Mhm.
memories might be from them as well because it's all one consciousness, Maybe
Yeah.
something like that. You think so too?
What's that?
You think so too with that? Like you have multiple versions of you here in this reality, like
Oh,
operating, you know?
yeah, oh yeah, I know that because I experience all the different, just the different memories that I have of, like, when I go to sleep. I'm always doing something different, like, and
Yeah.
always having something different, like a mission come back, like just being somewhere, like I just remember one where I was in like a ski area, and like I was like, oh shoot, this is like the ski area and stuff like that. And then the next mission, the next night, I remember going like and being in this forest and being with the team,
Yeah.
and we were infiltrating this mansion, and the mansion was like really high tech, but we were infiltrating it, and we went in and we got somebody, but I didn't know who it was. And then the next day I found out that Klaus Schwab he actually, it said, I found out that there was a black ops team that actually went in and got Klaus Schwab, and that it would say in the mainstream news that he was hospitalized,
Mm.
which it did. It did say that. And then so I remember being on the team that was sent in to get Klaus Schwab, because I remember the memory the night before it.
Oh
And
yeah.
then the the ski resort was me actually being in Davos, where they hold the World Economic Forum. I was actually there in Davos at the ski area in Switzerland, obviously doing some intelligence gathering for the
Yeah.
mission to get him.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lots of work, huh? We're like busy all the time, huh? It's like
I
nonstop.
get, yeah. I just actually can't even believe it.
I
But
know.
I do a good job though, like because
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
spiritual work and stuff
Yep.
is obviously keeping me able
Yep.
to like take remember all this and
Yeah.
you know because I know it's not easy for people for
You got to
that are
stay in
targeted.
shape too. You got to stay in shape and do exercise to get rid of it too. Like how that if I don't go and jog, then I get so just I feel like I just need to get it out of me. So I always have to walk or jog, you know? So that helps me a lot to release all the tension or whatever it is, you know? So and then I can feel better, like more relaxed. So that
That's why
definitely,
yeah, I know martial arts is part of bringing in the new consciousness and people learning
yeah.
different, forms and stuff to move
Hmm.
the energy. That's definitely what I'm going to be doing. I know why
Yeah.
I'm here to help with that.
Yes, good.
Um, so
Good.
I know we all got our different, roles here and stuff, but
Hmm. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So you want to call this a wrap then? And
yeah,
think has been an hour, a little bit over an hour or so like that. And then yeah, so it's been good to talk to you and meet you and
yeah,
everything
it
too.
was, it was. I really appreciate talking to you. I mean,
Hmm.
you impressed me with the gold scarab. Like I needed to know that. That was
Yeah.
good to know.
Oh yeah, that was the thing you were seeking out, huh? Before,
Yeah,
like
it
it was.
was. It
Hmm.
was.
I
I didn't
guess it
even
was
know.
given to me. Probably it must have been given to me to give, like the vision of it, like that
Yeah,
tuning into you. So because you was waiting for your ship,
I,
you know.
that's what my soul wanted to know, and you
Hmm.
did it. So
Hmm.
yeah, thank you. Now I
Yeah.
got something to visualize.
Yeah, it looks just like it. So it's really cool looking how it is. And then it tunes right into the Egypt stuff. So it's so I was like, dang, he's had a lot of Egypt, everything. Like
Yeah,
that's major. And then the Templar too. So I saw that with the Templar. Um, those are the strongest ones, So okay, on in the messenger, will you send me your email to send the recording to, so you can have it in your
oh
email,
yeah.
the drive, because it won't fit on the messenger,
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
yeah. I will do that.
yeah. Okay, cool. Then I'll be talking to you then later, okay? And I'll
Yeah,
send you the
yeah. Okay.
recording so you can put it
Yeah,
on your
sounds
page too,
sounds
okay?
good. Sounds good.
Okay,
Okay, Chris.
talk to you
Have a
later.
good night.
You
Okay.
too. Bye.
Yeah, bye.